Yeah, Jade, inshallah, I think today will be our last lesson for this book. I'm not sure if we finished this lesson, which is about they call it Harakatul Asma, and I explained to you that this is in essentially is Arab. Okay, this is essentially Arab, which is the study of أواخر الكلمة, so the end of the word. And I mentioned to you that this is one of the most, if not the important, the primary topic that we study in Arabic grammar, which is the study of the states of the end of a word. Now, here they're specifically saying of asma, which is the plural of ism, and we know that in Arabic language, you have the word, there are three parts of speech, right? This topic would be the first chapter or first topic that you'll study in Arabic grammar class, like Ajurumi or any other Arabic grammar book. This is the first thing they will talk about. So we have ism, okay, and we have fi'l, and we have harf. And as you know, the ism is a very broader sense, meaning it includes the noun, it includes pronouns, it includes adjectives, it includes adverbs, and a few other things. Right? So this is pretty broad category. Fi'l, which is verb, which is pretty much the same thing as verb that we understand in English. And harf, this is a little bit tricky. The best translation that I can think of, you can say particle. Ready? You can think of particle. So these are particles such as you have prepositions, harf al-jar, and you have hamza and hal. There's a lot of particles we have. The book, obviously, at this point, they're not talking about the other ones. So I'll just give you a very quick, simple way of understanding what's going on. And I told you that when they say haraka, they mean the end of the word. So that's why we have two categories, whether the end has the movement, haraka, which is i'rab, and if it doesn't have any movement, it will be mabni. So most grammarian, like when you study Arabic, sorry, I should write Morab. Instead of writing Arab, I should write Morab. Morab and Mabni. So any word that has this movement at the end, this is Morab, meaning it will be kitabun, kitaban, kitabin. You see these things move. So this is the Morab. And if it doesn't have a movement, then it is a Mabni. For example, هذا, this word will never move. It will never be hadu, hadi, hadi. None of them. It will always remain hada, regardless of it is mansub, majrur, or marfu. It doesn't matter. So that's why in grammar we're not so much concerned about mabni, and also because there aren't many mabnis. You can literally count how many mabnis we have. I'll just mention few of them. Any ضمائر pronouns, they will be mabni. هو, هي, whether it's connected, متصل or منفصل, they will be mabni. Even اسم الموصول, except for the duals, it will be mabni. Okay, so mabni, you can count them. It's not aren't so many of them. So usually in the grammar book, they will just list you all the mabnis and then you're done with it. Because there's nothing to do. It doesn't move. So from these three parts of speech, the default of ism, okay, asl of ism is that mora. That means it will have the haraka. It will have this movement. So it will have i'rab. Okay, so the ism will have i'rab. This is the default. And the asl, the default of harf is it will be mabni. Okay, in fact, it's not default. Every single particles are mabni. Okay, so this is very easy. Just clear this thing in your mind. All are mabni. So this is easy. The fi'l is a little bit tricky. You can say the asl, means the default, it is mabni. Default is mabni. So if you recall, we have three types of fi'l: al-madi, and al-mudari', and al-amr. Okay, so madi is the past, present, and a command. If you're a little bit confused about what happened to the future tense, the types of verbs in Arabic, we don't have a specific future tense for a reason that future tense and present tense, they're the same in terms of when we use them. But the command is also future. Why? Why is the command future? Because if I ask you to do something, obviously it did not happen. I'm asking you to do, and it's not happening now because I'm asking you to do as I'm speaking. So that means the action will happen in the future. So that's why they will also call it mustaqbal. And actual word for the present tense is hal. Okay, so but they call it mudare. They call it mudare because mudare it means similarities. It has similar. So the question is similar to what? It is similar to ism. Why they call it similar to ism? Because this is the only one that is mora. This is mabni. So past tense is mabni. All past tense is mabni. All amr is mabni, except for the present tense. That's why they call it mudare. Mudare doesn't mean present tense. We use that for present tense, but the word itself means similar. So similar to what? Similar to noun, ism. To just give you a quick example of mudare, because we already did for the ism, who can give me a quick example? The present tense having haraka like i'rab. So remember, we said adhabu. So as you can see, adhabu, this is marfu by dhamma. What happens when I say uridu an? Uridu an. What happens to this present tense? Hmm? Do you say uridu an adhabu? No, we say uridu an adhaba. So what just happened? We have a movement. Okay, so there's some i'rab happened here. So it become mansub. I don't want to get a little bit more details because now this question is in ism we have three states. And these states, guys, right now there's no excuse. You kind of have to know these terms by heart. You have to know what is raf and what is marfu, what is nasb and mansub and jar and majroor. Right? So raf is the dhamma, and nasb is the fatha, and jar is the kasra. These are the only three states of a noun. Noun doesn't have any other states. In terms of grammar, it can only end in dhamma, fatha, and kasra. So that means what's left? Sukun. It cannot have sukun. So noun doesn't have the state of sukun. Whatever the verb will have the raf. It will also have the nasb, but it will not have a jar. Remember, verb cannot have kasra. So instead, they have majzum. So jazm. So they have a jazm state, and it will be majzum, which is sukun. Okay, so the verb will have sukun. And the way we get sukun, we say lam adhab. So here we put a sukun. So this is, you see, from simple Dhamma, we got a Fatha and we also got a Sukun. So we have a Raf, we have Nasb, and a Jazm state. Anyway, so this is all I wanted to quickly mention because I think it's important. But you will have a plenty of these kind of discussions when you do Ajurumiyah or any other grammar book. فهمتم? Now, so with that, let's start the next تدريب. So we have التدريب الثاني عشر, which is a 12th exercise. It says هذا كرسي ذلك مقعد. So the focus here is اسم اسم الإشارة إشارة. So this is in English we call demonstrative pronoun. So a pointing pronoun. The difference between kursi and maq'ad is very nice. They put side by side. A lot of people don't understand. One is chair, another one is a seat. Now, Daraja, you have a bike, and Sayyara is car, and all these things. So I will discuss about this هذا هذه and هؤلاء in here. So as you can see, they're saying من أسماء الإشارة للقريب. من أسماء الإشارة from the demonstrative pronoun للقريب. قريب means what? Near. Okay. And we have من أسماء الإشارة للبعيد. بعيد is far. Just like English, we have this and that. This is for something that is close by, and that is something for far. So in Arabic, is the same concept. So للقريب would be something like هذا, which means this, and هذه, which is also this, but that is for feminine, as you know, either for masculine. And then هؤلاء is these. And now, as we learned that this is for both masculine and feminine alike. We say هؤلاء for female plural and for masculine plural. ذلك would be that for masculine, and tilka would be that for feminine, and أولئك would be those, both masculine and feminine. Okay, فهمتم? Now it's almost complete, but we're missing something. We're missing the duals. So I'll just give you the duals. So how do we say these two? The dual, we say هذان, هذان. And this would be for masculine. And for هاتان, هاتان is for feminine. هذان and هاتان. So you say هذان كتابان, these are two books, and هاتان سياراتان. So these are cars because of the feminine words. So how do you say that in dual form? ذانك and ذانك. ذانك and ذانك. ذانك كتابان, ذانك سيارتان. Those two are two books, and those two are two cars. And if you go study a little bit more advanced grammar, you will honestly come to know that actual pronoun is the, not the ha. You can just say the kitab. So that means exactly what hadha kitab means. It means this is a book. This ha will be for a lot, this is a lot of discussions. Anyway, we don't need to go that details in this level. Okay, so hopefully this is something that you probably were aware of them anyway. But this book is giving a little bit grammatical terms and trying to teach you from the grammar perspective. Now, then we have ضع اسم الإشارة للقريب and ضع اسم الإشارة للبعيد. الباب كبير. So I'm not sure if they want us to just put the اسم الإشارة or they want us to replace it. If you want to replace, of course you'll say هذا كبير. Okay, you say هذا كبير. But if you just want to add, then you say هذا الباب كبير. And you know the difference, right? When you say هذا كبير, this is big. And you say هذا الباب كبير, then say this door is big. In grammatical term, you can think of adjective, but the proper term would be badal. So basically what they want you to do is select the proper, appropriate ism ishara. So for example, here you cannot say هذا, okay, because this is what is a feminine. You have to say هذه. You know these things already, okay? So I'm not going to spend so much time. You have الطالبات. Here you will say what? What are you going to say? هؤلاء. Now, because this is for قريب and here for بعيد, and inshallah, I think you will know exactly what to do. Now, so we have next one, التدريب الثالث عشر, 13th exercise. It says أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. Answer the following questions. Again, looks like this muraja, they're focusing a lot on the numbers. So we have كم عدد الصلوات في اليوم. What is the number of prayers in the day? When you do this kind of exercise, this is your opportunity to review the number rules. And as you know, there are a lot of number rules. So you want to say 5 prayer. So the prayer, salah, it's a feminine. So you have to say khamsu. You have to say khamsu salawat. So make sure you follow those rules because it has to be opposite gender. We talk about them a lot. كم عدد الأصابع في يد الواحدة? So أصابع is what? Anybody knows what أصابع? What does it mean? From إصبع. إصبع. What is إصبع? إصبع is the finger. أصابع is the fingers. No. So and then look interesting. It says في يد الواحدة. Now, I have a question. So what kind of phrase is this? It's an adjective, right? But doesn't it look like we have a mistake here? We have al-yad, which is masculine, and wahid is a feminine. Shouldn't they match in the gender? Remember, all body parts that comes in a pair, they are considered feminine word. Okay? So ayn, you have two eyes. they are considered feminine, even though there's no ta marbuta. You have ain, but this would be feminine. You say هذه عين. But what about anf? You have only one nose, so it will be masculine. Okay, so there's something to keep in mind. That's why they are putting a feminine here. So this is in fact feminine. You will say هذه يدون. Shall I think you can go through them. كم عدد أيام الأسبوع? How many days in a week? ركع في صلاة الظهر. How many rak'ah do you pray in Dhuhr prayer? In all of these things. Now, so we have التدريب الرابع عشر. So 14th exercise we have ضع كل كلمة في جملة مفيدة. It should be فتح here. ضع, put each word. Remember we have كل and singular, so we'll read each. And if it كل كلمات plural, then we'd say every. So each, put each word in a complete sentence. مفيد usually means beneficial. هذا مفيد. This is good. هذا مفيد جدا. هذا الكتاب مفيد جدا. This book is very, very beneficial. Okay? But when it comes to جملة, you can say beneficial sentence, but in English we have a better term. We say complete sentence. Here we will say complete sentence. Okay? Which is a beneficial sentence anyway. Now, so, okay, now we have a very another important grammar topic. Okay, and this all relates to the term that I mentioned last time is shibhu jumla. Okay, uh, shibhu al jumla. Okay, so shibhu jumla is something that I explained a few times. This is a very important topic to understand because a lot of grammar rules will be revolving around this, but we're not there yet. But at least this concept you have to know. That is Shibul Jumal is basically it's not a sentence. As I explained last time, it's a pseudo sentence. Any phrase that starts with harf, harf, or dharf. Any phrase that starts with harf, like a prepositional state phrase, like fil kitab, or adverbial phrase, like amam al imam. Okay, so then it would be considered Shibul Jumla. فهمتم? So now the dharf, we have two types. We have zaman. And zaman you can spell two ways. You can say zaman with the alif, and you can say zaman without the alif as well. Okay, both of the spelling is fine. Then we have makan, makan, zaman and makan. What is zaman? Zaman is time. So adverb with regards to time, adverbial time, and then makan is place. That's what they are talking about. So we have min dhuruf fi az-zaman. So when you say min, that means it's not all of them. It's saying from among the dhuruf az-zaman. So adverb of time. So there are more. And then we have min dhuruf al-makan, adverb of place, and then we have min huruf al-jar from the prepositions. So these prepositions, all of them you must know. It's min, ila, an, fi, ala, bili. And one thing to note about the huruf, usually huruf, they don't convey a complete meaning. Okay, so that the meaning only comes from another noun or another verb. Okay, main thing to know from the zarf is that they will always be mansub. They will be mansub. They will be in the state of mansub. Unless you use fi. So there's another term, another name for dhuruf. Anybody knows? Hmm. Marful, what? Marful fihi. So maful fihi means that this maful is happening because you're replacing fi. You see the word fihi. So that means something has happened with that. That's why it's maful. So anytime you say sabahan, it is sabahan because it's a mansub because you replace the fi. You could have said fi sabahi or fi sabahin. If you said fi, then you say fi sabahin. But when you want to remove the fi, this is another style, then you make it into maful, and this maful is maful fihi, which is exactly as dharf. Because remember, anytime you say fi, you are looking into a container, either space or time, one of these two container. I will come in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or I'll be in the masjid. So you cannot use in English or in Arabic or any language, I think, for that matter, without what comes after that being a container, ظرف. So either it will be zaman or makan. So that's where the maf'ul fihi is coming. So that means that's why ظرف is connected to fi. And if you remove the fi, that's when it becomes mansub. You remember, Arabic language is very concise. It does not want to use anything that it doesn't need. It wants to be very concise and precise. So if you can remove the word fi all the time, then they will do it. So you remove the fi and just put a fatha. Your life is easier. Okay? You can say fi tahti, but most of the time they will come as a dharf without the fi. Now, so this is the whole logic and secret behind why we have a fatha mansub state for the dhuruf, because it's replacing fi. Okay, so and sabahan, so you say here, even say you can say astayqidu, I wake up. You can say fi as-sa'ati as-sabi'ati. If you say I wake up fi as-sa'ati as-sabi'a. So I said fi, that's why I'm putting a kasra here, obviously. But what is sa sabi'a? This is a time, it's a container of a time. So you can replace, you can remove the fi. There's no problem. You can remove the fi. But if you do this, you have to follow the rules. So you put a fatha. Astayqidu as-sa'ata as-sabi'a. Nothing wrong with this. Perfectly fine. Now this becomes what? It becomes a dharf. Dharf of what? Dharf of zaman, time. You can say sabahan, sabahan. But what if you say fi? You can say fi sabahin, in the morning. But here, usually the preferred way and the more common way is to use a dharf like this, sabahan. So now you say astayqidu as-sa'ata as-sabi'a sabahan. Everybody understand that you wake up 7 in the morning. فهمتم? So this is your dharf. This is your dharf. All you need to know right now, honestly, all you need to know right now is this concept. I really want you to understand this concept of shibu jumla, which is very important. And the dharf, we have two types, zaman and makan, and just understand this concept. You know what hawla? Hawla is around, wara is behind, khalfa is also behind, they're kind of similar. Tahta is under, fawqa is over, amama is front. Okay? Now, so we have a التدريب الخامس عشر, so 15th exercise. It's asking ما نوع كل كلمة مما يأتي. What is the type of each word from what's coming, what's following? So now this is something that very important, and we should be able to do them. So we have hal. So what is hal? So they give us few options. They give us ismu ishara, ismu isharatin. So this is إضافة. فهمتم? And ismu mausul, this is a mistake. Should be ismun mausulun. It is adjective. So if you make it this one into definite, it will be ismul ishara. Ishara. And if you want to make this one into definite, you will say al ismu al mausul. Okay? Because this is adjective. And ضمير متصل, the connected pronoun, منفصل, it says منفصل, so separate, disconnected pronouns. And we have أداة الاستفهام. أداتun, it means tools, like any type of tools that we use would be adatun, right? And the reason they say tool here, because istifham is what? The question. Like, so basically what this phrase means is that tools that we use, or the words that we use for questioning, like ma, mada, man, hal, aina, kaifa, kam, all of these things are adatul istifham. The reason they're using adat, because among them, some of them are harf, huruf, and some of them are asma, nouns. So some of them are the particles, some of them are ism. We'll just do a few of them. So hal, what is hal? Right, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can just quickly say which one. What is hal? 4, yes. So this would be, hal would be adat istifham. And by the way, hal is a harf, it's not a noun. هذه, where does هذه go? Yes, one. So it is اسم ishara. Uh, okay, let me give you another one. Hamza. What is this Hamza? The Hal and Hamza is by and large exactly same thing. There's only few differences, which you'll learn later. You pretty much can interchange them. نحن. What about this one? Going to be here, right? فهمتوا? Now, so inshallah, I think you understand them. You should be able to do them. Oh, there's a lot of them. Please go through them. I don't want to go through them. You will understand. Like you have hunna would be a pronoun. Huwa. You understand all of them. Mata is the question. I think you got this, right? Inshallah. Next tadrib, we will just ignore them. As probably doesn't concern us much. And we have another one at التدريب السابع عشر. So 17th exercise. It says أكمل الحوار, complete the conversation. We'll only just do few of them. It's something you should practice home. It says أحمد is saying هل, and we have a blank إلى بلدك يا كمال. What do you think we should put here? هل إلى بلدك يا كمال. So we want to say, did you go? Or you can say, did you visit your country? Let's just use the easy one. Go. So we say what? هل ذهبت. ذهبت. If you say present tense, what do you say? هل تذهب. And remember what we say, present tense verb are more. هل تذهب إلى بلدك يا كمال. Okay, now. Then he says, Naam, yes. Then if you say yes, then of course you have to change this. It's not. So you have to say ذهبت for the past tense. ذهبت or أذهب uh, for the present tense. إلى بلدي. Here you can say بلدي, you say بلدي, my country. You know these things. But honestly, if you don't do them, you think you know them, but sometimes, even though you know the words, you know the rules, if you don't practice putting them together in your mind or writing, at least you should do the writing first and then say out loud, use them. I think it will be very useful. Then he says, لماذا. لماذا means why. Why did you go, or why will you go? Then you can say li azura. We had this li and an a lot. The verb would be what? Let's say I want to say to visit. Mansub, yes. Li azura. Here's the mansub. You can also say li an azura. But li is enough. Li azura usrati. Usrati. To visit my family. So inshallah, I think the rest, I'm pretty sure you can do them. Now, what do we have here? We have التدريب الثامن عشر, so 18th exercise. It says اكتب حوارا بينك وبين زميلك حول ما يلي. Write اكتب حوارا, write a conversation بينك, between you, وبين زميلك, between you and your classmate, حول, around ma yali, around what comes. Remember the hawla, we just saw the hawla. Why does it have fatah here? Hmm? This is ظرف. And what kind of ظرف it is? It is ظرف مكان. Now, so the question is لماذا تتعلم اللغة العربية? Why do you study Arabic language? In order to answer this question, you have to say, you have to use this li, an, لأن, لكي, all of these tools that we learn. So you can say لي أفهم القرآن, so that I understand. لي أفهم القرآن, so that I understand Quran. Okay. And as I said, you can also replace with masdar. You can say لي فهمي القرآن. لي فهمي القرآن. You can use the masdar, the noun as well. Then it says كيف التحقت بالمعهد. You can say قدمت أوراقي. I submitted my papers. Go through some of the text and you should be inshallah able to answer. ما مواد مواد التي تدرسها. What are the subject that you study? Remember التي and the connector ها, going back to التي, all of these things we have discussed. I think inshallah you will be able to do them. Then he says to write something. And then, Alhamdulillah, I think the last one is this surah we have here. it says التدريب العشرون, the 20th exercise, اقرأ, read. And then we have part of Surah Al-Alaq. What is so important about this surah? And this is such a beautiful surah to end with the entire book. This is the first verses to reveal, right? The first word is Iqra. The first 5 verses. These are the exactly first 5 verses that reveal to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. From what we know, I think we should be able to understand every grammatical analysis here, and also most of the word you should know. So it says Iqra. You know, this is a verb and this is a command verb. Qara'a yaqra'u iqra. This is a command verb. Be ism, with the name, and because it's mudaf ilayhi of the Rabbi, so that means we don't say bi ismin, we say bi ismi rabbika. Alladhi khalaq. Khalaq is what? Khalaqa is what? This is a verb, right? Khalaqa is yakhluqu, means to create. Khalaqa, he created. So as you see, we have ismul mawsul, alladhi. So where is the aid? What is the connector? The pronoun huwa, which is hidden, and as you know, huwa is connecting with alladhi. So everything is perfectly matched with what we learned. خلق الإنسان, so this is مفعول به. He created the mankind من علق. Okay, من علق. And you see حرف الجر and you have a كسرة مجرور state. What is علق? علق usually they translate as a blood clot. So this is a thick blood, and it also has another meaning, which is like leech. You know those worm, the leech worm. Both of this meaning can come. And the subhanallah, this is so amazing is that if you combine these two meaning, the leech and the blood clot, then you know exactly the human, how initially it formed from the biological perspective, how amazing, how miraculous of the Quran. Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram. Read rabbuka al-akram, the merciful or the kind Lord. But what is this wow is doing? How do you translate this wow? Read, and your Lord is the most kind. Remember, this is akram. Here's another beautiful thing. It's not Allah, it's not Kareem. Kareem. He's not saying this. He's using superlative form, akram, like akbar. Okay, so he's saying akram. Uh, so wow is actually wow of hal, meaning read while knowing the state of your Lord. State of your Lord is that He is the most kind. So then it says, Alladhi allama bil qalam. Again, alladhi, after the alladhi, we have to have a sentence and it has to be connection. So allama is huwa, and all these things we've studied before. So who taught allama bil qalam. And there's a lot of explanation about what does it mean with the pen. I don't want to get into this one. But another thing I wanted to mention, that allama, this fa'ala, we did a lot of them, right? Qaddama, right? Then the last verse here, he says, allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. He taught the mankind ma lam ya'lam. So we have ma lam ya'lam. So remember what we just said, that present tense verb is mu'rab. The word is ya'lamu. This is the asal. And asal is, as you know, is marfu'. So what happened here? We have a sukun here. So this is jazm state. So this is majzum. Why is majzum? I just mentioned to you before. After lam, it becomes majzum. So we have this lam and we have ya'lam, sukun. Now my question to you is this: what is this ma? And that would be my last discussion. What is this ma here? We know what ma is what, but this is not istifham. This is not question. Allah is not asking you. This is a, yes, ismul mawsul. This is alladhi. The same thing as alladhi. Ma lam ya'lam. Alladhi ma lam ya'lam. So this is ismul mawsul. And as soon as you have ismul mawsul, you're looking for the connector, the aid, and the aid is here, huwa, and huwa goes with ma, and all of these things we already know. فهمتم? So if you know the grammar and know some vocabs, you'll have a whole different level of relationship with Quran. The more you know the grammar, the more you will appreciate, and more you know the vocabs, more you will understand. So you need both. So Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, we were able to finally were able to go through this book. SubhanAllah, I remember I started teaching this book when the COVID started. So it took, I know a lot of you were like complaining it's taking long time. I don't blame you at all. It took me way long time than it really should have. But I hope kullu khair, inshallah. And I wanted to go a little bit more details and use this opportunity using this only one book. I wanted to really introduce the whole Arabic language through this book. I really like this series, and may Allah give us a tawfiq, barakah with this and accept our deeds. This is the main thing. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.